What's going on, guys? Snorlax here. Today I'm bringing you a special guest, my buddy xIROC.
What's going on, guys?
We, today, are playing Floodgate. I fucking hated the Flood. That's kind of one of the reliefs of not having Flood in Halo 4, but it's something that I'm going to miss. What started you into, like, the Halo series, and what, kind of brought you back to the previous?
Pretty much Halo. I started playing Halo when it first came out back in the day when the Xbox originally came out. My friend got the Xbox on Halo when it first came out, and it was kind of one of those things where my mom really didn't want me playing video games when I was younger because it would rot my brain and make me violent, apparently. So I used to sneak over his house all the time, and we'd play, the campaign over and over and over and over again, just multiple times. Then we'd play the split screen, and we would waste so many hours during the summer. It was ridiculous, and it was something that was real special. And then I moved down to Florida, and I didn't get an Xbox until like a couple months before the Xbox actually came out, or the 360 actually came out.
Yeah.
So I got Halo and Halo 2, and I played those religiously pretty much. I beat them all in Legendary, I mastered all those. And it wasn't up until recently where I started getting into the other Halos. When I got my Xbox about 3 years ago, Halo Reach was just about to come out. So I figured I'd pre-order that when I got my Xbox, and that's what really got me into the online gaming. And when Halo Reach came out, I decided, before that officially came out, I decided to play a lot of Halo 3, get the storyline in, because I play Halo. I'm not a big multiplayer fan for Halo. More or less, I like it for the campaign. Multiplayer is a bonus. Like, Reach really got me into multiplayer. It's really the only one I've ever played multiplayer-based wise, which I do find fun, but I am more of a Call of Duty player, so when it comes to Halo, I definitely play for the campaign and story.
Yeah, that's what one of the producers of Halo 4 said in 343. They were like, the multiplayer is one thing, but most people are there for the campaign, the like nostalgic Halo campaign. Speaking of being a Call of Duty player, as most people do know, what are you thinking about like the sprint, the loadouts? How do you think that's gonna merge with Call of Duty players probably picking up Halo and knowing a little more what to do? There's even remapping for controllers that'll be more of a feel for like Call of Duty players.
And see, that was the biggest problem I had when I was playing Halo is, well, with any game, you play one game so much, you're used to that mapping control for that one game, and playing Call of Duty all the time and then switching to Halo, it's a night and day difference. And the fact that they're adding different mapping, so it's not going to be such a learning curve, I guess, to play with your other friends, because it wasn't even like the controls were difficult when you're playing on Halo, but when you, like I said, you play a certain game so much and you switch over to another one, it's just like going into a whole new world, like starting from scratch. Even if you're a noble or something on Reach, and you play Call of Duty for like 4 months, then jump back on, it's the controls, but it's real janky, and you can't grasp it exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the way they're doing it, I think will appeal to a lot more people. It's definitely appeals to me a lot more, which is a good thing when I grab my Xbox up again, because it's definitely going to be one of the games I'm going to get.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to the campaign. I was reading so much about what they're putting into it. I was reading like a bunch of the IGN posts and looking at the videos, and like it really got me onto it. One of the challenges for me though is in a few days, like a week or so, the 2nd of October, Halo, or I think it's called The Thursday War, is being released. It's a new book. I think it's based off of with the campaign of Halo 4. And my opinion is, I love the campaign and I love the books. And some people I've talked to said, the campaign or the book's gonna ruin the campaign before it comes out. I don't really feel that way. I feel like it's two different things. Reading something and then it coming to life is something that everyone looks forward to when they read books. So I think it's kind of a good prep for Halo 4.
I agree and disagree at the same time. At the same time, that they're incorporating the books, I think is really cool, because now that you've read something, you can see it come to life. as you said. But at the same time, I worry because when you read a book and then you see them make a movie, sometimes it flops. But I mean, it's not exactly the same. But I'm hoping that when they decide to, incorporate, the game mechanics into the game, and when they're trying to factor in how the books played out, that they don't kind of alter it too much. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same just because you're going to be playing it instead of reading what someone's doing. So
Yeah.
obviously, your moves are going to, affect what's going to go on. But I think if they can figure it out and, if they are able to match it the perfect way, I think it'll actually be a really good blend. And I think it'll appeal to both sides, people who have read the books and people who haven't.
Yeah, I really like what they're doing with adding new looks. Like, since it is 4 years later in Halo 4, it is confirmed, I think, 4 years. It's pretty good to see that everything's changing. Like, he looks a little different. The grunts and like the Covenant look different, and just everything. And the fact that they're bringing Prometheans in is amazing.